The world is unipolar, but there are really two economies. The one which is managed by the international community, a group of rich countries which have explored, expanded, colonized, converted and enslaved others, whilst enriching themselves. And then there's the rest of the world. The international community is a diminishing club led by the United States of America. It boasts of things like democracy and freedom, but it's no secret that the USA is only 247 years old and has been at war a total of 226 of those years. In his recent report to the National Congress of the Communist Party of China, Xi Jinping stressed humanity now has a choice based on three pillars: common prosperity for all, material, cultural, ethical advancement, and harmony between humanity and nature. Now let's look at these three individually. Common prosperity first. According to their own statistics, the USA has developed the world's largest wealth disparity. In 2016, the richest 5% owned 66% of all American wealth, and that number has grown. In early 2022, according to the Fed, the top 1% owned 53.9% and the bottom 90% only owned 32% of the wealth. Now, I'm no economist, but it's fairly clear that this situation is getting worse, not better. In China, just a few years ago, this looked like becoming a similar problem. As China's share of global wealth grew from 3% to 18%, the gap between rich and poor widened. However, poverty alleviation programs lifted 800 million of the poorest from abject poverty into a living wage or better. The number of middle income earners increased to 69% of the population. That's approximately 707 million people, double the population of the United States, where more people are dropping out of middle class and entering poverty. In other words, there may be an income disparity, but it's a closing disparity as the number of poor people decreases. China's job now is to ensure that gap doesn't widen, and all the people of China continue to benefit from economic growth, not just the elite few. The second pillar is material, cultural, ethical advancement. Imagine, if you can, a world built on slavery, wealth built on colonization. Enslaved people are shipped to other parts of the world or forced to harvest resources for products they can never use. Laws made by the powerful keep the weak in line, but are ignored by those who made them. This is the world we live in. The international community was based on this colonization. Now, the rules may have changed, but the traditions remain. Countries like Venezuela, which are rich in resources, are still punished by the international community for not sharing them. Countries with a different ideology, such as North Korea, Vietnam, Cuba, China, and of course the USSR, were and have been punished for not changing to emulate the West. Countries like Syria, Libya, Iraq, Afghanistan that don't share the same religion have been destroyed. There are many, many more sanctioned countries because they didn't meet the expectations of the United States. China's Belton Road Initiative is a wide sweeping trade initiative designed to provide mutual benefit to a range of countries. It now encompasses over 40% of the global population, with over 140 countries and regions signed up. Not one of those countries has been asked to change their ideology, religion, or provide any unpaid workforce to the benefit of China. Most are experiencing economic growth, and all without the terrible conditions associated with colonization. This is ethical advancement. The final pillar of the advancement of harmony between humanity and nature. A lot can be said of a country's health by looking at its environment. And as the world's fastest growing economy, largest population, and largest manufacturing capacity, it's hardly surprising that China's environment went through some very difficult times. But this is changing. China is consistently ahead on its targets where renewable energy is concerned. And the country has now listed thousands of square kilometers as national parks. These initiatives are starting to show positive signs. Migratory birds are coming back. Snow leopards are increasing in numbers. Rare sea animals and other animals are being seen in greater numbers than just a generation ago. Times are changing. The world is moving on. But now there's an alternative. All nations can choose. Work with the world's fastest growing economy, experiencing increasingly improved infrastructure, a modernized, expanding and educated workforce using leading edge technology in communications, aerospace and transportation, with a philosophy of mutual benefit for a shared future, or more hegemony. It really isn't a difficult choice.